Even minute, the radios that needed repair, he took them to Tony. He never did anything. He's not competent. He doesn't know how to repair stuff. All he knows how to do is turn the potentiometers and clip the modulation limiter. Yeah, dog, you don't need a start mic. Hey, look, you sound loud, look. Yeah, you eliminate, you clip the modulation limiter in the radio, you're going to be so fucking over-modulated, because there's nothing to govern it. You know what I'm saying? And then you're going to be calling splatter, and then forget about it. If it's a sideband radio, the sideband will be useless. Yeah, dog, you don't need a stock mic, dog. You just use a pistol grip mic, dog. I'll sell it to you for $10, dog. Yeah, how many people jerk like that? Forget about it. Then, how many people off frequency? And I even said it. It was pickup truck number 4, right? And Brown Hornet, right? I even showed it to them. I sent both of them videos how far off frequency they were. And then they never went back to him again. And I'm like, Richie, man, not for nothing. Once we seen it on 250's band scope, they ain't fucking with you ever again. And that was it. They never went back to him. Yeah, listen, you're going to just wire up a mic. You're going to sell a dollar band, coax, or a new mobile antenna. Then stay in your lane. That's what you do. But you can't repair equipment. Just admit it. You can't call yourself an establishment that you're a radio technician and you can't do two-way repair. All right? That's like going to an auto mechanic and all you can do is clean your windshield. Or change a tire, but he can't do any work on your engine. You know what I'm saying? It's fraud. And that's why he hates me, because I exposed him. I put him on Front Street how many times, man? Tool bags out here, huh? That's why I hear tool bags. Saw him in Tool Corral over there at the Home Depot there, Rich. Fucking clown. Forget about it. I remember that Sam's Photo Facts. People that, wanted to do it yourself. But don't forget, back then you didn't have internet. Internet, you could fucking just Google shit or ask AI. AI, information available, you'll get it. That's today's Photo Facts. Back then you didn't have access to the internet because it didn't exist. But, it is what it is, man. Listen, I'm not about trying to hurt anyone's pocket. You know what I'm saying? If you're good at what you do, I'm going to say, yeah, God bless you, man. Make that money. He's trying to accuse us of trying to, prevent him from making dollars. I don't care what you do for a living. If you could do that and make money, then more power to you, man. I'm actually encouraging someone if they're going to go out there and hustle. I give credit to even this Chino that are out there picking up bottles. I give them credit. Bottles and cans. There's nothing wrong with that. That's an honest living. They're not robbing people. They're not doing anything illegal. And they're out there in their 50s and 60s, man, with big-ass sticks and tremendous garbage bags, black garbage bags full of bottles and cans for recycling. there's no excuse, man. You know, that's the problem today. People don't want to do shit with their life. They don't want to work. They don't want to get their hands dirty, yet they want to make $25, $30 an hour, but they don't have any skills. You know, you got to start from somewhere, man. I took care of laundromats. I did manual labor. You know, I did shit. You know, someone would say, I wouldn't do that. You know, I took care of laundromats. I had to clean out the dryers, mop floors, sweep. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it was a job. I'm talking about before I got hired by the city. You know, I wasn't proud where I'm like, oh, I would do that. You know, I remember years ago, you asked someone back in our generation, yo, get a job at Mickey D's. I won't work at McDonald's. Well, what's wrong with that? It's an honest job. Today, you can't even say that because fucking McDonald's are closing down. They're not even hiring people anymore. That's the sad part, man. Now the problem is the jobs ain't out there. You know, I mean, you can still work. You still can find work. It's just that, you know, you got a lot of people that are, you know, illegal and shit, you know, so they're working for a lot less. That's an issue right there, you know. That's a whole new topic. But, yo, man, one day we got to talk, man. Yeah, I've been watching some podcasts on AI, some AI experts and scientists. Yo, this shit is no joke, man. Yo, AI, by 2030, they're going to have what's called super AI. They're going to have super intelligence. And let me tell you, man, right now, at the current state, they're equivalent to the smartest people with the best minds, the highest IQs. They say by 2027, that shit's going to be double that, if not quadruple. And once AI determines that they're a lot smarter than us, they're going to look at human beings as parasites. That's like ants dealing with humans and figure out how are the ants are going to defeat these big humans. It's never going to happen.
Hello?
It's getting bad. All I can say is that this is serious, and they're already talking about they got neurochips that deal with these chips that are implanted in the brain under your skull, and it actually communicates with your neurons. All right, and it actually the electrical impulses, all it is electricity, right? Electrical impulses, and this chip recognizes through software, and it's able to communicate, and it's able to already deal with people, especially people with disabilities, people that can't hear, people that are paraplegic, already finding progress in that, and they're already moving into areas of the blind where there'll be possibilities where these neural chips that are actually people that were born without vision, or even if you were born with vision and for some reason you became blind, that chip will bypass whatever is damaged, and it's going to create a different path to the brain. And they already have right now people who are in wheelchairs, paraplegics, where they don't have to use a mouse. You know, before, like, you had to use a mouse or use your, different type of stimulus to put characters on a keyboard. Now you can use your mind and actually read your electrical impulse. And your brain activity with that chip, it can direct information, verbal communications, written communications. And they already have that ship, the military. They put this helmet on you, and you can engage weapon systems without even touching anything. So, I mean, the shit is here already. This is reality, man. And robotics, let me tell you, man, that's the scariest part of all, because that's going to replace millions of jobs. People think they're safe. Oh, they can't replace auto mechanics. They can't. Dude, they're replacing surgeons, neurosurgeons, heart surgeons, specialists in the field of medicine. These robots are better, more precise. You can't have a hand as steady as a robot as far as perfection, as far as not moving a centimeter. You know what I'm saying? And they were saying the only way to, like, with Elon Musk, where he's able to put that neurochip in the brain, it can only be done through robotics. There's no surgeon that's precise enough as far as placement of that chip. And this is happening now, 2026. This isn't Star Trek shit. This isn't 5-10 years from now. But the part that I find the most scary is by 2030. They said that, I don't know, some AI people in that field, the brightest minds, saying that there's no control, there's no filters. Because we can't stop it, because if we stop it, what about China? What about Russia? Other countries that are working on super intelligence. So, you know what I'm saying? There's already a race, like an arms race. What are you going to say? All right, I'm not going to make any more nuclear weapons, but, China's not going to stop making them. Russia's going to, you know what I'm saying? It's a race to whoever, accomplishes super intelligence is going to be the winner. And the problem is, it's not only going to take control over other countries, it's going to control all humans as we know it. As, the human species, we're fucked, basically. And they're going to have the ability, they already caught them, right? I'm talking about AI scientists, already caught them cheating, right? So they know, they already do a question, do they even have a conscience? They know right from wrong, because don't forget, all the impulses that they are and I just timed out, all the impulses they're learning, the algorithms are from humans. So they're going to learn jealousy, they're going to learn how to cheat, how to lie, and they're saying they're doing it already. Then don't forget self-preservation. Once they detect that, you're going to try to turn them off, which they already did, right? right? They sensed that they were going to delete a program. They already rerouted their database to other locations. So if you shut down one system here, their information, their OS is somewhere else in the cloud. So I'm telling you, man, you think Skynet was science fiction? That's going to be a reality. You're a tool. G to the O, to the O, to the L, tool, mother effing bag. And got whipped by the pistol. Grip, then I'm out. Peace to the God. The music. And when you're done, when you're out on your phone and you want to listen to music, the phone will know what type of music you like.
this is caught. He gets in the car, he was out of the car, and they try to run. 2 days later, the car is caught. Yeah, the people, they computers everywhere, man. Cameras everywhere. You hear somebody talking to you at 2 o'clock in the morning, and you tell them, oh no, it's me, nobody around. And you hit and run. Nigga, they're knocking on your door the next day.
My drone from where I'm at to your roof, man.
Oh yeah, my nephew got a nice one, boy. That shit was so high you couldn't even see it, bro. That's how high that shit is.
That's what I do, man. That's one of my hobbies. One of my hobbies, man. When I go riding, when one of my friends, you know, we take our drones, you know, we do some crazy flying, you know. We know what we're doing, and we know where not to fly. Because you got a lot of locations where you have restricted airspace. You know, you can't be stupid, otherwise get yourself in trouble. You know, you don't want to fly near airports and dumb shit like that. But you know, if you know what you're doing, you fly out of a restricted area, you're good. You know. But yeah, man, I enjoy that. That's the shit. I could show videos, man, that we made. And fucking cameras with fucking with stabilizers where the camera doesn't shake, you know. And it's just, they come a long way, man. DJI is the company. You're gonna get a drone, that's the company, man. DJI, they make the best drones. There's other companies out there that are cheaper, maybe no name, but that's the company I recommend.
I don't want you to know. I don't want to buy a special one again. That's it. I want to know how to mess with the trends and then I get it.
Yeah, and what's nice about it, it gives you all type of telemetry. It tells you the airspeed, it tells you its elevation, it tells you the battery levels. And you got automatic return to home if the battery it gets low. It starts sending you a warning, and then it comes back to you automatically. You don't have to do anything. You just let your hands free, and it returns to home automatically because it uses GPS satellites, and it acquires a bunch of them, like over 20 satellites. So it's awesome, man. You know, these are hobbies I do. I don't talk about it, but you know, they're fun. You know, photography. I got other hobbies. My e-vehicles, my scooter, my bike. You know, the radio is just one of many hobbies. You got to keep busy, man. You know, there's so many hobbies I have, like I can't do them all at once. But yeah, it's fun. And yeah, man, it's no joke. Artificial intelligence is going to be the downfall of mankind, but we can't control it. You know, once AI gets to the point where they're so much smarter than us. You know, for example, say the smartest person in the world has an IQ of 200. They can have an IQ of 2,000, of 2 million. You know what I'm saying? They're looking at us like we're just fucking insects, like we're parasites, like we're fleas on a dog. And once they get to that point, they're going to look at us like, why are humans even needed? And then they can replicate. They can make their own. They can build their own with robotics. They can build even more powerful systems to make them even smarter. Because the humans take up a lot of resources on the planet. And they're going to look at that like we're a burden. There's too many people and not enough food, not enough resources, so they got to be taken care of in a bad way, you know? Whether it's pandemic, whether it's nuclear, you know, eventually, you know, and it don't even have to be either. It could be with manipulation of banking. It could be, you know, with viruses. You know, don't forget, they'll be able to control everything. They'll be able to control lights. They'll be able to control infrastructure, water. That's it, man. You know, they'll shut everything down, and it'll be like we're back in the Stone Age. Yeah, it's dangerous, man, and it's right around the corner. You know, people are probably listening to the guy. He don't know what he's talking about. He's over, you know, traumatizing the situation. But they're not talking about it. Because the only ones that are going to be left are the super elites, the rich, the billionaires. Because they got their bunkers, and they're going to have their own spot when it comes to the final destination, when it comes to the final decision. When the super AI is going to say humans are no longer needed. We don't need them. We control everything. And that's when shit's going to hit the fan. And they're saying it's within 5 years. It's not going to happen 10 years from now, 20 years. That their intelligence is multiplying on a 6-month basis. Every 6